Okay, so let's get started with day 3. So day 3 is going to be your first day of Forest Naval. I don't know if I mentioned this previously or not, but each day there's specific goals that you should have in mind. Like by day 2 you want to have those 5 parts, at the very least 4. And you want to have 75 at least reds. The reason for that is for setup for this day. So this day, the goals are going to be to grow at least 30 blues, and then to get as many parts as possible. So to start off this day, we're gonna okay, no, actually, there's actually 2 ways you can do this. I'm gonna show off the easier way right now, and then I'll walk you through it, and then afterwards I'll actually do another playthrough of this day using the harder strat. That's not something to worry about when you're first starting, but if you've got this down and you're just looking for something to improve on, I would definitely recommend learning it. It's the difference is fighting the beady longlegs with yellows versus fighting it with reds. So, okay, to start out, we're going to take out all of our reds. We're going to throw 15 on this gate. So now we're going to go over here and put a bunch of them on this bridge. You want to make sure that you have 32 with you coming over here. Now you want to put 15 on here to get the automatic gear. And then just dismiss them right here. Now we're going to start getting blues right away. So while we're growing blues, the bread bug is most likely going to show up. So what we're going to want to do is actually leave him something to take. So we're going to knock down this guy right now. So if the bread bug comes along, he's probably going to grab that 1 pellet. Hopefully he shows up. He's usually here by now. There he is. There's our good friend, the bread bug. So for taking care of the bread bug, you need to hit him at least once, and then have 2 guys carry that pellet back. So it looks like these guys didn't grab it. So we're gonna throw those on there until we got 15. So right here are shearwigs. They are a much more annoying version of the shear grubs. You want to throw Pikmin on top of them, ideally. That was actually a really good fight. If you do half damage to them without killing them, they will fly up in the air and you have to kind of like snipe them out of the air. And that can get really, that can get pretty hectic. So I would definitely recommend practicing fighting those guys a lot. So over here, as you saw, we left those 15 off to the side because we want to just move the Pikmin that were on the bridge to the next bridge, and then put the 15 of them on that gate down there. So continuing throwing blues, pluck until we have 5, then grab this. Then pluck the rest of them while we're waiting for that pellet to get back. This is just optimizing time, of course, just having as much going while we're doing other stuff as possible. Now we want to carry the Shearwigs back because they give a lot of Pikmin per how much they weigh. They actually give 4 Pikmin seeds, which is a lot for something that weighs 1. So this will get our blue Pikmin total up to 30. Which is plenty for day 4. One interesting thing to note is that during cutscenes where the parts get back, most time does not pass, but there are certain things that still can go on during the cutscenes. One notable example is that Pikmin grow. So these Pikmin are already ready because time was passing during that cutscene. If you can line it up so that cutscenes happen during Pikmin growing, that'll save you a little bit of time in the long run. Another example, I forgot to mention it, on day 2, there was a cutscene of a yellow Pikmin holding a bomb, and I made sure to have Pikmin growing during that cutscene as well. So here we're going to put away blues until we have 15. We only need 15 to carry the Ionium Jet. And that's all that blues are going to be doing on this day, so we don't need to have any others out right now. So we're just going to go straight down here, wait for this guy to get up, and carry the Ionium Jet. Now I'm just holding the C-stick towards the part. Usually the best way to put all of your Pikmin on something. If you need only one color, you should probably be throwing them. So now we come back up here. I actually want to take out as many yellows as possible first, and then grab this, because we don't want Pikmin to come out of the onion, and if you have 100 in the field, of course, no more are going to pop out. So carry those back. So now this is where you just have to pay attention to how many you took out. So I took out 5 yellows right here, and I need 15 yellows. So I need to put away 10. So this will bring me to 15 yellows. So next we're going to go down to the beach and go to the gravity jumper area. Although we're not going to get the gravity jumper just yet. We're going to dismiss our guys right here. And one of them tripped, so let's grab him too. So you don't want to stand as close to as possible, because then they're going to get caught on the wall. You want to stand a little bit back and then throw them up. If they're not all working on the gate, like they're almost never all working on the gate. So you want to throw 6 off to the side and then have the rest work on the bridge. We only need 6 bombs for right now. See, these guys don't want to work on the gate, so we're gonna, or the bridge. So we're gonna call them and dismiss them to get them to work. Lazy bums. So we're gonna have our 6 yellows get 6 bombs. It's important to not have all of our bombs right now, and you'll see why when we get there. So now this guy can be a real pain. So if you know exactly the right angle to make him jump, you can actually distract him with a single jump. However, I would definitely recommend making him jump twice. He needs to be far enough away so that his range doesn't see this side, and his range doesn't see this side. Because 2 parts will be coming through there. So now we're going to take our bombs, blow up this gate, and we're going to be fighting Beady Longlegs. Now, again, if you can't one-cycle the gate, it's not that big of a deal. If it takes you 2, don't worry about it. So, Beady Longlegs, dismiss your yellows far behind, so that he doesn't stomp on any as he comes down. So, the way Beady Longlegs works, every 4 steps, his feet are going to be in a square again. And when he does that, that's his cue to shake off your Pikmin. So that's your cue to whistle them off so that they don't get deflowered. Because if Pikmin get shaken off, they will get deflowered. Maybe not every single one, but some of them will, and it's annoying. You don't want to deal with that. This fight will definitely take practice to get it down. You probably won't get it down that perfectly right away, but keep practicing it and you'll get it. So now you want to call some reds. You want exactly 20, because that's how much the guard satellite weighs. I like to make sure that they picked it up. Then we call everyone and come down here. So now we want to dismiss and take just our reds to fight this guy. This guy is the easiest boss. You want to make sure he turns before you attack him so that he goes off this direction. This is important because that means that the part is farther away from there, and that means that it'll take longer before you're in any danger. Now, if you saw earlier, there are going to be some grubs that show up here. But don't worry too much. If you just run right through, they'll be fine. Because the way that grubs work is they only pop up if Olimar passes by them. If Pikmin pass by them, they don't worry about it at all. So your Pikmin carrying stuff will be just fine. So now, we're gonna go grab more bombs. So with these bombs, there's one more gate we're gonna blow up. This is not necessary, strictly speaking, but it definitely helps out. Gonna want to actually dismiss the yellows that don't have bombs here. That'll just help out, speed up that part as quick as possible without putting our yellows in danger of getting burned. So this gate right here. This will allow for a much faster way back to the onion than going around the long way. So, unfortunately, the Pikmin don't reroute. So we're gonna have to actually call them off real quick and then put them back on. Now they know to take the shortcut. So we got the guard satellite coming back in just a minute. We got the stabilizer coming back in just a minute. And then let's go over here and save these guys from... Because the way end of day works, when you end the day, Pikmin can get left behind, of course. If they are within a certain radius of the landing site, they will live. If they are under your control, they will live. So these 15 I have with me are perfectly fine. And those guys over at the landing site are perfectly fine. And those are all the Pikmin that are out in the field. So... that's actually everything we want to do on this day. So... now we're just gonna go to sunset. If you can't finish the day this early, don't worry about it. Again, what's important is getting everything done by the end of the day. So, if your day marker was like, I don't know, in the countdown, as long as you get both of those parts back, or at least very close to the landing site, you'll be okay. Again, ideally, this is a speed run, so you want to do it as fast as you can. But what's important is getting everything done by the end of the day. So normally you'd pick go to sunset, but I want to show off a tweak to the route. So I'm just going to go through it the way I would do in a run if I was running this route. Take out all the reds. On the gate here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put these guys on here, down to 32. Put 15 on here, or you can know that it's down to 17 total. Either way works. And let's activate the blue onion. Again, just like in day one, we're going to punch these flowers while we're waiting for the sprout to grow. And we're actually going to punch these as well, because we got to wait for... or we got to give something for the bread bug to take. Where is that bread bug? He's usually here by now. Well, this is unusual. Alright, so here he is. So I'm actually gonna move this even closer, just get it in range there. So now for these, I'm actually not C-stick throwing, because I need to adjust my positioning to follow the grubs. So I'm actually not going to C-stick throw there, because the rate of Pikmin throwing doesn't matter, because one Pikmin on top of him will kill them instantly. So precise aiming is what matters, not the speed. So let's put our Pikmin on the gate here, and then go back to the blue onion. Again, you could pluck all of them right away, and then grab it with 9. Grab it with all 9 of your Pikmin, but it's faster to pluck only 5 and get it moving as quick as you can. It's these little optimizations that really add up. So we don't want the one pellet, we actually want the shearwig. And you want to go for the ones that are as far back as you can first. It's not a big deal, but again, those are the ones that are gonna finish last, so those are the ones that you want to speed up as quick as you can. I really want to enforce that, because that's really the golden rule of making your route. Whatever is going to finish last, you want to speed that up as quick as you can. Okay. So again, this part is exactly the same as previously. There is going to be a slight modification to the route. I will be fighting the long legs with reds instead of with yellows. So that means instead of taking out 15 yellows, I'm actually only going to take out 6. So we're going to put him away. And I took out 5 before, so I only need 1 more. So the only thing I need yellows for is for the bombs now, since I'm not fighting the long legs with yellows. You can choose your route, just pick which one of these you would like to do. It's personal preference. Fighting with the reds should be slightly faster, but it's not a big difference. If you can't do it or you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't worry, just fight him with the yellows. So I like to wait until I get all 6 to throw them up, in case some are taking a long time, because there is a chance that not all of them will grab a bomb, and we don't want to throw any up here without a bomb, because we actually need all 6 of these bombs. So I'm gonna actually flower this guy. It's not necessary to, but I like having everyone flowered if possible. So as I said before, this guy can be distracted with 1 jump, so if you would like to learn that, there's a good example of a good distraction with 1 jump. The angle, it's not like really precise, but it is. It's not something to be just like, oh, that... It's not a huge window, but it's not like pixel perfect or anything like that. So I like to take only 40 or so. So what you want to do is you wait until he dips his head down. He does it after a couple cycles. Okay, I'm really messing up this fight. He does it after a couple cycles. Luckily, with this route, we actually have a lot of reds, more than we need, per se. So it's okay if as many as like 10 or so die. I believe we had 64 reds, which means that 14 can die, and the route will still work out. Unfortunately, it looks like we had 7 die. That's right in the middle there, so we're okay. It's rare that a bug can spawn there, but it is definitely possible. So now we have 34. This is another thing that you want to just have down, is just really quickly in your head be able to say 34. Okay. Guard satellite takes 20. That means I need to get down to 14. So I throw until I have 14. Now, the advantage to fighting the Longlegs with reds is that you have a lot more reds with you, so that you can carry the Omega Stabilizer faster. Now, if a lot of reds died, like they did here, that advantage is lessened. However, the fight itself is, of course, still much faster. So there is that. Also, you have less yellows here, so this escape out of here is easier. Okay, so right there a yellow tripped. If I had waited for him, he would have gotten eaten. So dismissing, knowing that dismissing can get him up quick is very good to know in cases like that. I talked about tripping Pikmin at the end of day 2. If you would like to go back and get a refresher on how to deal with tripping Pikmin. So now all that's left is to blow up this gate right here. Now, since the part is actually right here, we're gonna actually speed up both of them. If the part had already turned the corner, I would just leave it how it was. Actually, since... Okay, again, this goes back to speeding up the right thing. So... the guard satellite's ahead. So it doesn't matter how quick that gets back. So I want to put as many on the Omega Stabilizer as I can, because that's the one that's gonna... that when that gets back, I can end the day. So if the guard satellite gets back a little slower, it doesn't matter. What matters is how quick the stabilizer gets back. So, we caught up to those 15 Pikmin. Both parts got back. So now we are good to end the day. And that is it for day 3. Day 4, we are going to be going to the impact site, and we're going to finish that up. If you're playing on the Wii version, a couple things will actually be different. For example, Bomb Rocks. I made a big deal about not whistling back Bomb Rock Pikmin that you threw. If you're playing on the Wii version, ignore that. It's perfectly fine to whistle back Bomb Rock Pikmin that you threw. They changed that for some reason. Another big thing for speedrunning is that you can actually skip the end of day cutscene. So we still have 15 yellows, we still have 30 blues. So that's really what we're looking for in terms of how many Pikmin we have. The reds, we'll never need 76 again, so we only need a maximum of 40. We only need 40 reds at one time ever again. So if they die, if some of those die, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about that. So next time we're going to be going on Impact Site.